Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to be back with another recipe for you guys. This is a personal favorite of mine, mac and cheese. Something that I love to cook, but I love to eat it even more. So I always start off by boiling my pasta, as you can see me doing now. And I don't like to use macaroni, I like to use Spirali. I think it's pronounced Spirali, yeah. And what I do, I add it to boiling water with some vegetable oil and some sea salt. So what the vegetable oil does is just stops it from sticking to itself. So I like to use a roux sauce for the base of my mac and cheese. You can use a roux sauce for a lot of different things, and this is one of them. So what I like to do, I melt down about 40 grams of salted butter, and I like to season the butter. What a lot of people don't know is that when you fry off your seasonings or spices, it intensifies the flavour a bit more. So that's just what I'm doing here. For a full breakdown of all the spices and seasonings that I'm using for this recipe, you can find in the description bar below. Okay, so the next stage in making a roux sauce is adding flour. So I like to use plain flour, and I just add it bit by bit. For this recipe, I use about 150 grams of flour, but I add it slowly and mix it in just so that it can, I don't know if it makes sense, but so it can cook. I just feel like when the flour's raw, you can kind of taste that it's raw. Sounds really weird, but yeah, that's just what I do. And I just keep adding the flour until you can get this kind of appearance that looks like breadcrumbs. Big breadcrumbs. The next stage is adding some cold milk. I like to use full fat milk just because I feel like when you're making a roux sauce, you want it to be nice and thick and creamy. So I like to use full fat milk and I whisk it in. I decided to use a whisk just to get out any of the lumps that might be in the sauce from the flour, like the breadcrumby stage. So I just whisk it up and keep whisking until it's completely smooth, and I just keep adding the milk until, you know, I just feel like it's a good quantity. But you just need to remember, because there's flour in it, flour is obviously a thickening agent, so it will dramatically reduce the amount of your sauce. So you may need to just keep adding milk until you're happy. I also like to use double cream, and I add as much cheese to this part as possible. So I like to use some extra mature cheese because I just like the sharpness of the cheese. I also like to add a 4-cheese blend that contains mozzarella, cheddar, red Leicester and Samso cheese, just because I like that it gives different flavours of cheese to the sauce. Yeah, so the cheese just melts into the sauce, makes it nice, thick, creamy and really stodgy, it's quite a stretchy consistency, and that's a good indication for me that it's got quite a lot of cheese in it. So now is the stage that I add my pasta. By now it should be fully cooked. If you're cooking it at the same time as your sauce, it should be fully cooked, but just give it a little test just to make sure. Yeah, so I'm gonna add both packs of pasta into this sauce. See, I was making this for quite a lot of people. This amount would serve around 20 people, depending on how greedy those people are. But yeah, so I'm gonna add both packs of that pasta into the sauce and just mix it, add a bit more cheese in, and then mix it once again. So this is the last stage of the dish. I'm going to dish it up now into my serving dishes and bake it in the oven at gas mark 4 for about 20 minutes. I'm just going to finish it off by sprinkling some of the 4 cheese blend on the top. I like to use the 4 cheese blend just because it's got that red Leicester in it, and I like the orangey browny colour that it gives it. So last but certainly not least, I like to put it under the grill. Just gives it a nice crisp top coat that I just love. So that's it, not much to it. Nice, simple, easy recipe. I really hope that it was easy for you guys to follow. Let me know if you give it a go, and thank you so much for watching.